Thank you, Creator, for all you do, all you have done, all you continue to do, and all that is to come. I love you. You know I love you. So this conversation is just to clarify exactly what I meant back when I was speaking about the dogs and stuff was walking, and they barked at them people. Because when the dog first got here, the dog the dog didn't bark at nobody else. You know what I'm saying? It barked at the firstborn. You know what I'm saying? He hadn't did nothing to the dog. You know what I'm saying? But whenever the dog would see this dude, it would bark at him. Didn't bark at nobody else in the house. You know what I'm saying? And that's because the dogs and shit don't be getting poisoned like we do. You know what I'm saying? And the dogs be able to see that type of presence on people. So like when them dogs was walking through the other day and they barked at that nigga with that trailer and then turned around and barked at this lady, I was just like, well, the dog probably see a presence on them people. You know what I'm saying? And the dog is like warning its owners, like, you don't need to be around them because that's a spirit on them people, like a bad spirit or something. Because in here, the dog always bark at this dude. Anytime it see dude, it's like, the dog senses his presence. I mean, his senses is so strong. When that motherfucker dude come in here and he come in the house, the dog will start barking. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because he can sense that dark presence on this person. You know what I'm saying? Just like I could leave out of here and come back in, the dog won't bark or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Anybody, you know what I'm saying? The dog even just started barking at the firstborn's sibling, son. You know what I'm saying? Because they be having that dark presence on them. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why they able to put the presence of them demons up on them dogs is because they have put ownership up on that dog, because the overseer says that dog is hers. You cannot own no life, man. You can't own no life. That's like getting married and saying that this motherfucker you married to, you own him. You can't own no life. You're not even supposed to be making no damn agreements. If two people if they gonna be together, bro, then they gonna be together. You don't need no motherfucker sign no covenant, no documents or nothing stating that, since we got this piece of paper, this binds us together. Man, what the fuck is wrong with you people? If y'all two people truly love each other and y'all gonna be together, then y'all gonna be together. If the shit is not working out, then the shit is not gonna work out. Of course, because of everything that's going on in the creation, motherfuckers' situations be fucked up because everybody accept these dumbass spirits and shit. But you can't force nobody to be with you. You know what I'm saying? You can't force nobody to be with you. You can't make a motherfucker do shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the training of a dog. I seen a lady walk through here the other day and she had a dog and this motherfucker had a stick in her hand. And if the dog looked and seemed like a different animal or something, he would stand up and act like he's ready to go and check it out. And she'll take that stick and she'll tap on the dog. And the dog will sit down and then she'll be talking to him in his face like, no, you don't do that with this fucking stick. You know what I'm saying? The life in creation, if it wasn't for them motherfucking spirits, you would already know what the fuck you need to be doing and what you're not supposed to be doing. But because everybody accept them dumbass spirits, motherfuckers is confused as a motherfucker, because half the time it be the it don't be them people. It be the motherfucking spirits that they didn't accept it and they don't know it. You know what I'm saying? They don't know it. But yeah, I just wanted to get that straight. Because when them dogs came through and they barked at that dude with the trailer and then barked at that lady, it's 9 times out of 10 it's because the dog could see that them people had a dark presence on them, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why, when that shit was happening in the house, that's why it brought that to my attention. Because anytime that this dude would come in the house, that motherfucking dog would bark at this nigga. And it don't matter. If ain't nobody here and he going there where the dog is at, the dog is barking. You know what I'm saying? He spent time, I guess, if that's what you want to call it, spent time trying to get to know the dog. You know what I'm saying? And all this old shit. And it really wouldn't matter. He done fed the motherfucking dog and everything. You know what I'm saying? And even though he done did all that shit and try to buddy up with the dog, Anytime the dude is, anytime that dog senses that presence in that dude, that motherfucking dog bark, bro. That motherfucking dog bark. It's just like, I don't be around dude because I know he got that presence on him. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be around him at all. Period. Because I know it's what the fuck it is. I can sense the presence of that darkness on him. And I don't want nothing to do with that shit. So, if you got a dog, you know what I'm saying? I don't really think that dogs need to be, trained and all that type of shit, because their life, they learn. All life can learn. They have a brain. They wouldn't be walking around this motherfucker if they didn't, so they can think. Even bugs got brains. They can think. How the fuck you think they running around collecting food to feed themselves and they little bug people and shit, They got the life so fucked up. Motherfucker be sitting up here thinking that insects are just, don't have a mind. I was working at a place one time and I seen a praying mantis, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't really too fond of bugs and shit, but I seen this motherfucker bug and I was like, damn, that's a praying mantis. I hadn't seen one like up close like that. So I went up and walked up on the motherfucker just to look at him and shit. And the motherfucker turned his head and looked at me like, what the fuck you looking at? You know what I'm saying? But I stood there and I just stared at him for a little while. And then, like, the place where I was walking at, it was a little distance from little places that I had to walk to, but it was all like in the same little business. But you know what I'm saying? It was like a little distance. So I would walk to this other place to drop his paperwork off and shit. And this motherfucking praying mantis, I guess fucking followed me because he was there when I dropped the motherfucking paperwork off. Then when I went back to the other building, the motherfucker was back at that same building. And I just walked up on it and just was looking at him. And the motherfucker was looking at me like, shit, you keep on staring me down. I want to know what you up to type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So, at the time, back then, I didn't really think nothing of it. But I was like, man, why does this motherfucker keep following me around? I guess because the motherfucking bug was like, what's up with you? You know what I'm saying? Because I was staring at him and shit. So, like everything has energy, bro. Everything that is living has energy. You know what I'm saying? So obviously the praying mantis was like, shit, dude's alright, he ain't gonna try to kill me or nothing. So he's straight. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't fond of bugs or nothing. I done seen people pick them up and all that old shit. I wasn't into none of that crap. I wasn't into none of that crap. But if it had 4 legs, you know what I'm saying? If it was an animal and had 4 legs, you know what I'm saying? I was used to that because when I was younger, animals used to always, walk up on me and shit. And, I used to feed them and crap. Till motherfuckers made me feel like that shit was weird. But yeah, man. You got a dog, and that dog is, unless you done trained your dog to bark at some motherfuckers, or some shit like that. If you ain't trained that dog, and that dog is just around you, just being itself, and it don't never really bark at motherfuckers, but then it start barking at somebody, bro, that's because that dog can see that dark presence on them people and sense that dark energy on them people. And that dog is letting you know that you don't need to be around them motherfuckers. You don't need to fuck with them, And the other dog that was here before that, the Sparkle, the little bitty Sparkle dog that I was talking about, the one that didn't have no teeth in his mouth, I used to have to chop the food up and feed it and all that old stuff. I didn't mind doing it because the dog, like I said with the other dog, we sit back, watch TV, wouldn't have no problem. But as soon as this motherfucker with this dark energy come in, the dogs get to barking and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because they can see that shit on these motherfuckers. And they can sense that presence on the motherfucker. Before I started really coming into the truth, and that first dog was doing it, I just thought it was because, dude used to always fuck with the dogs and shit. You know what I'm saying? He used to just always fuck with the animals and shit. And he been like that since we was young, you know what I'm saying? Just ignorant shit. He do that shit to bugs, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even kill bugs. Motherfuckers run around stomping bugs out and all kind of shit. And I'm like, man, you just killed that bug. It's only a bug. You know what I'm saying? It's only a bug. So it was living. You know what I'm saying? Shit that I just didn't get when I was younger. Now I'm seeing it. And I know why motherfuckers like it, because they got them stupid ass, demonic, dark, God serving sucker ass demons on them, and they don't care about life. Them motherfuckers is here to make sure that they are destroying life so that their existence in the creation of life can continue, bro. And that shit has got to come to an end. You know what I'm saying? If it don't come, I mean, it's going to come to an end. But is it going to come to an end, and are you going to end with that bullshit is the thing. Because y'all think it's a game. They taking motherfuckers with them. That's why I tell you in the book, what it say in that damn book. He took a third of the angels with him. They say in the book that the Satan nigga took a third of the angels with him. Everybody in that book, every name in that book is either a demon or they are serving a demon. Straight up. Straight up. That's what the whole book is. The misleading of the life and creation of serving demons in the name of a man under the title of God. That's what that is, man, because they started fucking with that darkness and brought that darkness into the creation of life. And they tell you in the book that the evil spirits of the earth, they brought death into the creation of life. You know what I'm saying? And that's what that shit is. You know what I'm saying? So, straight up, y'all. But that, yeah, if you got an animal, I don't know. I ain't had no. I had a few cats. You know the cats. They meow and shit. You don't know. I ain't never really see the cats hiss at no motherfucker though. You know what I'm saying? But they wouldn't want to be around a motherfucker. I never seen them. Wild out on a motherfucker. But the dogs and shit, they bark at a motherfucker, man. They see and sense a dark presence. They probably work the other way around too. You know what I'm saying? Depending on if that person that accepts that dark energy owns a dog. The dog is probably trained to bark at motherfuckers with good energy. You know what I'm saying? Because they have to put ownership on them dogs and shit. You can't own no fucking life, bruh. You can't. Every life in the creation is free. They have been given to themselves by Creator of all of existence. I don't know what's so hard for people to get that, And that's another thing. I had that bird in here. I was sitting up here thinking about that shit, and then, what came to my mind was, this motherfucking bird came out of an egg. And I used to eat eggs when I was coming up. You know what I'm saying? But after a while, I used to always eat the motherfucker breakfast burritos from McDonald's and shit. They had eggs in them and like vegetables and shit in them, and like sausage, meat, or whatever. But I used to eat them because they was, handheld, and they was, quick, cheap. You know what I'm saying? I used to eat them. You know what I'm saying? But after a while, like, I'm just gonna say this. It was me being out in the energy, in the eternal energy, that was strengthening my immortal, eternal soul body and my eternal spirit, bro. Because after a while, you know what I'm saying? And I had been eating them breakfast burritos for a while. But then it started being to where anytime I ate one, it didn't matter where I got it from, if it had eggs or like sausage or any type of meat or some shit in it, I would throw that shit up. You know what I'm saying? So I stopped eating it. You know what I'm saying? I stopped eating it because I hated throwing up, bro. You know what I'm saying? I hated throwing up. That shit was like a terrible feeling. You know what I'm saying? I hated it. So I stopped eating them motherfuckers. But I know what that was, bro. It was because the eternal energy that has been sent is strengthening, your eternal everything to let you know that you don't need to be consuming certain shit. But if your mindset is on, you love that shit, and you love the ways of the world, and you are just stuck up under serving them demons and shit, depending on how strong you done allowed them demons to be on you probably just gonna continue in the footsteps of the fallen, loving the ways of the world in the way that it is being corrupted. I mean, It's fucked up, but the demons do have that type of control over a motherfucker. And sit up there and tell you that they disobedient spirits, the evil spirits of the earth. They turn their back on Creator, bro. That's why they condemn. They can't never go back to Creator. So if they turn their back on Creator, guess what? They don't give two fucks about nobody else. None. They down here trying to continue to exist in the creation. But their time is coming because once the truth start getting out, people gonna start walking away from that shit. Motherfuckers ain't gonna accept them spirits. Motherfucker ain't gonna accept no other spirit. You accept a spirit when you come in contact with somebody else. Because everybody, they self, is an eternal spirit in the body that they was born in. Their spirit. So you accept them, you accept the spirit. So let's say you meet a good person and you accepting people, they a good person. But let's say you meet somebody that, has been corrupted to the point to where they like doing dark deeds and shit, and you buddy with them, you cool, you have accepted a dark spirit, And keep this in mind, everybody has always accepted an evil spirit of the earth because that's what all of the world has been tricked and deceived into serving. So just think about that. You meet a good person, but they didn't been tricked in like everybody else has been tricked into accepting the evil spirit, so they're going to have their flip-flop ways. And then you got this person that has just adapted to the darkness, so they themselves have their dark ways, and then they are accepting the dark evil spirits and shit, so it's gonna make it like intensify, triple time fold, so then you really fucking with a demon. if he's a dark person and then he's accepting the evil spirits of the earth, man, you fucking with a demon. You might say that's a motherfucking demon, but if you got this person that's a good person and they just have been tricked and deceived into accepting the dark spirits like everybody have, they gonna have days and times where their ways is not gonna make no sense. They then did some sins or some shit or whatever because they accept that dark, stupid ass spirit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. But it was kind of, and it was fucked up because it was hard for me to get it about the dog. You know what I'm saying? Because dude was so consistent throughout us growing up doing shit like that. He didn't only do that to animals though. You know what I'm saying? He would bug motherfuckers and get on motherfuckers' nerves on purpose. Just people. You know what I'm saying? And then just what I always say, man, it's just the way I am, man. It's just how I get to know people and people get to know me and shit. I do this shit. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It's just who I am. Nah, it ain't who you are. It's just who you are accepting to be because of the shit that you accept and know about, which is that evil spirit of the earth. Excuse me. And in order to hide this dark energy that is on him, this motherfucker gotta act like that. You know what I'm saying? Because he never know when his ass is gonna get snapped out. He never know when he gonna get snapped out. And then the shit is so consistent that has just become traditional ways for him to be. Because he's so willing to accept that demon, because of that has been his way of getting away with everything, and doing stuff. That's what has been, like they said, they do what works for them, So since that shit is always, even if it's some fucked up shit, and it didn't work out for his ass, he do that shit because the shit worked out for him. You know what I'm saying? Versus somebody saying, well, shit, I tried that shit. That shit didn't work. You know what I'm saying? It was some dark, evil shit. I tried that shit, it didn't work, so they leave it alone and walk away from it. Not this motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? They tried the shit. They plan was for it didn't work, but they gonna continue doing it because sooner or later it is gonna work with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Kind of bullshit. They just love serving the demon. That's the reason why, if I had it to where the dog could only be around me, you know what I'm saying? It wouldn't even have to be that the dog would only have to be around me. If the overseer hadn't put claim on the dog as if that's hers and being up under that stupid ass covenant, I wouldn't mind being around the dog because the dog would be a free spirit. But being is that the dog is bound by this person that is saying, I own this, like it's an item, the dog is up under the covenant of the darkness. And that allows the demons to be able to jump on that dog. You know. Like these birds and animals and shit out here, the demons can't attach to them. They have to have a way of entrance. You know what I'm saying? And the only way they can do it is if somebody is, put them up under a covenant. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that they saying that they own something. And being is that the person is feeding that animal, the animal accepts the owner. If the animal accepts the owner, then the animal accepts all that comes with the owner. So the demon is able to attach to that animal that the so-called owner has. It's crazy, bro. It's fucked up how shit go, but when I see it, motherfuckers can try bullshit if they want to, but the trick is no good. Trick is no good no more. That shit out of luck over here, bro. Shit out of luck. I'm gonna get on out of here. And thank you, Creator, for all you do, all you have done, all you continue to do, and all that is to come. I love you, Creator. You know I love you. Love y'all. Call out your Creator. Creator of all of existence is the truth. You will know the truth when you call out your Creator. Creator will give you the truth, all of the truth, and only the truth. When you receive the truth from Creator of all of existence, you will know that Creator of all of existence is the truth. Do you speak it?